Bet Sportsbook.
What the world is about to witness is the loudest building in the history of ball.
There's nothing to get excited about right now. We're still a long way away, and you just got to take it a day at a time.
Mathurin madness! He's got 25!
How much did you feel like those body blows made fatigue a factor?
Outlet Siakam, deep against SGA, gets by him and lays it in!
You gotta suck it up. You gotta suck it up, get it done, and try to get a win.
We are live from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, counting down to Game 4 of the NBA Finals. The hometown Pacers, they lead this series 2-1, and this building is ready to rock. Because while this is Indiana, they're swapping out those shirts for these ones that show you the names of all 18 players as the pursuit of a championship continues for Oklahoma City here. We have a combined 6 championships here on our set. Brian and I combined for 0. All heart, though. Brian Windhorst, Danny Green, and Udonis Haslem. UD, have you added a ring every day that we've been here to the set?
I sure have.
Okay, we're building up to this all-important Game 4 because we know what could happen. Think about what happened if the Indiana Pacers are able to get to the win tonight. When they get a 3-1 lead, if you look at a series, the finals, they have a 37-1 series record. The lone comeback, the 2016 Cavaliers. So it's not impossible, right? But history is not on OKC's side, right? Here's how the players are looking at this Game 4.
There should be a higher sense of urgency, a higher level of stress. Your spit should taste different, all those things, right? Like, this is a lot of fun.
At the end of the day, we have to be who we are and who we've been all season. If we want to give ourselves a chance in this area, it has to be the same thing.
It's got to be a killer edge to beat these guys. I mean, we're going to be an underdog in every game in this series. It's a daunting challenge. Anything less than a total grit mindset, and we just don't have a chance.
I was starting to wait, did he say your spit tastes different? And then I looked at Udonis, and Udonis is like, yes, it absolutely does. So maybe I'm missing something here. But Brian, you've been saying that this is the biggest game of the Thunder's lives. Set the stage here.
Look, I just feel like whoever wins this series is probably wins tonight. The winner of tonight is just in position better. Obviously you can't predict certain things, especially when it comes to everybody being healthy. But my experience with being involved with dozens of series over my career, when I've seen the underdog, the team without home court advantage, ahead 2-1, with the chance to go up 3-1 and apply maximum pressure, if they can get it done at home in Game 4, it almost always triggers the win. If the the team with home court advantage can win back home court advantage and go back home in a 3-game series where 2 of the 3 are going to be at home,
they have
most of the time with momentum, I feel like they do it. So that leads us to the inevitable situation that I really feel like tonight's winner is going to hold that in next week.
Can't disagree there. But I think also this is the most important game for everybody on that floor outside of Pascal Siakam. Like the most important defining moment. This could define SGA's legacy. J-Dub, Chet, even Tyrese Haliburton. Everybody else on that floor has a lot to prove, and it's a very pivotal moment, like Wendy said, to try to get the momentum of who's going to win the series and take control of the series.
Yeah, and I think all the pressure right now is on OKC. Yeah. I mean, you look at what the Pacers have been able to do. They're imposing their will on OKC. And when I came into this series, I said, I want to see who's going to impose their will because we have dynamic offenses, we have dynamic defense. Yeah. And they're imposing their will on them right now.
What does pressure do to a young group? You're a young team who hasn't been there before. The biggest game, as Danny Green has said, for most of these guys in their careers, in their basketball lives. Does pressure make you fold? Does pressure build diamonds? Like we're seeing, I'm blinded by the diamonds in front of you.
You hope they're too young to know any better, not let it get to them. You want to play free and fearless. A lot of those guys, if you see Nembhard, Nesmith, you want them to play fearless. And if I'm one of those other guys, like what I would try to look at it and attack this and approach this like I can win this game for my team. Like nobody's predicting for a Danny Green or a Nembhard or Nesmith to come out and have a big game, a Cason Wallace or an Aaron Wiggins. These are the games that those guys can make an impact and make a name for themselves and also get their team a momentum swing in the series.
I agree with Danny. It's an opportunity to make a name for yourself. Pressure bust pipes. and cook cabbage. You want to cook cabbage, or you want to bust the pipes. So if you look
UD's, yeah, whatever. UD's euphemisms are some of my favorite things. I think it would be they have a blueprint, right, that they found in this game 3. And I'm not saying they shut down Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He still had
slowed him down.
24 points or something. They did slow him down, right? It wasn't what you expect from a MVP. Tyrese Haliburton, they shared exactly what they saw, both Shai and Tyrese, in that game 3. Let's take a listen to them in their own words.
I think with Shai, he's so good. He's so slippery, in between those gaps. It's like he splits screens that you're like, I don't know how he's doing that. And I think in game 2 specifically, if you watch a lot of my coverages, I did a poor job of being at the level. I was back, and then he could come off, and he had so much space. And now he's kind of manipulating me with in and out, or he can just split and throw through. I thought that was something we really had to clean up coming into today. I think the big thing that makes it easier is when Drew is really blowing through, those screens. And, I think more times than not, he's getting held and having to fight through. And it's the finals. It's physical basketball. I thought he did a great job of really fighting through. And if I can just hold him for a second, give him more time to get back square, it makes things easier.
They were higher in the pick and rolls. They really were just, like Coach said, more aggressive, more forceful. Yeah, we got to, starts with me, but we got to apply that pressure back.
I love the film breakdown. Yes. And SGA take on ownership. It starts with him, but this is also something that can start with the screener. Me, I was always the screener for LeBron or Kawhi. Try to get the mismatch. And the screener can create some of that separation by being more forceful in setting the screen, coming from the baseline, bringing more speed so that the defender is not able to get up and be there for that defensive switch. So SGA has to be more aggressive coming off, but the screeners have to be better with setting them and also having pace with setting that screen.
Is there a matchup, Brian, that you think could dictate who wins this game?
I do. It's the Canadians. Andrew Nembhard.
And he's not talking about the tuxedos.
Yeah, Andrew Nembhard and SGA. This has been an unexpected war between these guys.
Yes.
Look, SGA's numbers are really good, but SGA's standard is very high. Nembhard has given him some problems. First off, he's 7 of 20 shooting is exactly in that moment. But Nembhard is a primary defender, 7 of 20. That's 35%. That is not how Shai rolls. Shai has averaged over 30 points and shot over 50% for the last 3 years. And the thing about this, guys, that I'm going to take away from these first 3 games, 2 different times, Mr. Even Keel himself, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, has shoved or elbowed.
A lot of character for him.
He's gotten into him a little bit. Up here, impenetrable.
Well, even in game 3, you saw him face guarding Shai. It stopped him from even getting a touch on so many possessions here. I mean, full out effort from Andrew Nembhard against the MVP. I shouldn't show the Indiana Pacers these numbers, guys. I really shouldn't, because this is just their bread and butter. But I'm going to do it anyway. They were underdogs in game 3, and guess what? They are even bigger underdogs in this game. This is where they thrived all postseason long, though. 9-4 as underdogs. That puts them 1 win away from tying the 23 Heat for the most betting upsets in a single postseason since at least 1991.
It can be done.
This is why you love them, right,
Yes,
UB?
this is why
I picked them. Yeah, he picked them. So
this is why I love this team, and this is why I picked him. And you talk about what he's been able to do. Who knows SGA better?
Yeah.
Just like a little brother that knows how to push your buttons and get under your skin.
His cousin in one series and his fellow countrymen in another.
Yes, these people know him the best, and they know how to get under his skin. As cool as he is, he's showing a little bit of cracks. But this is just part of the game. It's mental and it's physical. So he's going to figure that out. But what I'm looking at in this game is Chet. I'm looking at Chet right now, and I'm looking at him against Miles Turner, and I'm saying to myself, Chet has not had a game that he's won. They're going to need him to win a game for them. As great as we were with the big 3, we understood that to get to our ultimate goal, we needed Chris Bosh. They need him to be their Chris Bosh. He had one game in game 2 where they played well and he had 15 points, but he only played 27 minutes. That was a blowout. Last game he had 13 points and 4 rebounds in the first quarter. He ended up with 20 points for the game. He needs to win them a game.
Yeah, and I think he's had halves where he's made impacts, but start to finish. And look, let's just be real. In the fourth quarter the other night, Chet got tired.
Yeah.
He got tired. They wore him out. Now, the Thunder are so great this year and so dominant at taking the fourth quarter away because they dominate the first 3 quarters. In this series, they're plus 33 in the first 3 quarters. Chet has played very well in those 3 quarters a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, plus 27 to the Pacers. That's where Chet needs to be an impact player to flip that around.
Right, because we've seen it in the first quarter. He'll come out strong, and we'll see his fingerprints all over that. And then a little bit as the game wears on, it's sort of like, okay, they need a little bit more from Chet Holmgren. Since we are in Indiana, we got a really cool story for you guys coming up here on NBA Today. This is a...
Welcome back to NBA Today, presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
Should we take this as a maybe sign from the universe here in Indianapolis? As you're seeing their ABA championship right now, but it is a little bit stormy outside. Maybe some fans hoping for some thunder as well. We're speaking figuratively, of course. Come on, Brian. Let's take a look at today's electric moment brought to you by Hyundai. In a game 3 that's so pivotal, it takes hustle plays from the others, UD.
I mean, yeah, TJ McConnell was huge in this game. And I'm telling you, he's a guy who every time we play against the Miami, he is on this scout report because he can impact the game. Did you see his eyes after he got some of those steals and the way he ignited the crowd? You can feel that crowd and you can feel that energy igniting through their team.
And it continued in the fourth quarter, Brian.
Man, the highlight package for TJ McConnell in this game is a freaking career.
All hustle, man, all heart.
OKC committed 19.
Look at that. It's just amazing.
19 turnovers in game 3.
Jason Sehorn.
He did that to Caruso.
Jason Sehorn.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, also part of that turnover story, right? He committed 6 of them, which is the most in his playoff career, tied for his second most in the season. Indiana was able to turn those turnovers into 21 points on the night. Remember, that's what the Oklahoma City Thunder, they couldn't really do in game 1, even though Indiana was turning the ball over at such a high rate here. And as you take a look at Shai's shot chart, it was a slow night by the MVP standards, right? He only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter in game 3. He took just 3 shots, including 1 in the paint. That's after combining for 17 fourth quarter points in the first 2 games of the series. Here's SGA yesterday on the fatigue factor.
How much did you feel like those body blows made fatigue a factor? How can you mitigate that and try to fight through it, figuring they're going to take a similar approach?
Yeah, you got to suck it up. You have to. There's maximum 4 games left in the season. And it's what you work the whole season for. It's what you work all summer for. So the way I see it is you gotta suck it up, get it done, and try to get a win.
So Shai won't necessarily talk about the fatigue that we all maybe saw him feeling, but I know that the disembodied voice of that question will. Tim McMahon. Howdy, Tim.
Howdy, Malika. Listen, you talk about what you saw from Shai there in the fourth quarter. You didn't see much impact. You just mentioned it. Only 1 bucket, only 3 shots attempted, no assist. And this is a team in the Pacers that made it priority to wear him down throughout the game. They picked him up on an average as he's bringing the ball up the floor, 65-plus feet away from the hoop, the highest pickup point in any game in his career. They blitzed him 12 times in the half court, the most of any playoff game in his career. Made him work on the other end of the floor. 22 shots, he was the primary defender. That's the most of any playoff game in his career.
That's what got him.
It was body blow after body blow after body blow. It's no surprise he didn't have a lot of gas left in the tank come fourth quarter, whether he wants to admit that or not.
Well, it's something that certainly we should all keep an eye on going into this game 4, whether or not they can continue to wear down on the finals MVP the MVP rather, because he has been pretty unflappable. We call him Shea Butter for a reason, because he is smooth all the time. And maybe just a little bit, we were starting to see some cracks in that armor. Tim McMahon, thank you so much for stopping by with that insight here. Let's just take a look again at the numbers behind teams that trail 2-1 in the finals. They have a 4-3 record in this series. The 2015 Warriors, 2016 Cavaliers, the 2021 Bucks, and the 2022 Warriors all overcame 2-1 deficits to raise a banner. I'm thinking about 2013 right now, gentlemen, because it's the exact same makeup, right? The San Antonio Spurs, your Spurs won game 1 of that series, if I'm correct. You stole one in Miami against Udonis, right? So you stole one in Miami. Then you guys were able to defend home court in game 2. We went 1-1. And then you went on the road in the same fashion, and you were able to steal game 3. And so
we wouldn't say steal.
And the format changed after that year as well. So instead of going 2-3-2, because once we stole one in Miami, we then had home court because the next 3 games in San Antonio. Now it's 2-2, 1-1-1. But, yeah, that's a very pivotal moment, and this is a very pivotal moment for these groups. But Shea, and before the series, we predicted who would win, who would be Finals MVP. The only way OKC wins if Shea is MVP. It's different for Indiana. They could have Pascal be MVP. They could have Miles Turner, Nathan. They could have a multitude of guys that could be up for the Finals MVP. OKC does not win this Finals without Shea being MVP. He has to be aggressive. He has to get the free throw line. Fatigue is not an excuse. And if he's not playing MVP level, they do not win this series.
And to the common eye at home, you would look at the trapping him and the picking him up 65 feet away from the basket. But me and Danny shook our heads. 22 times he was the primary defender.
Yeah.
That is also a way to wear on someone. He did it in the Knicks series. This is the genius of Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
I'm going to put Brunson, I'm going to put Cat in those pick and roll. And he did the same thing with Chet or Holmgren. And the first guy in that pick and roll every time was SGA, getting hit, having to get over, having to get under, having to get through a pick and roll. That wears on you.
Are there any parallels you played with an elite guard? I'm thinking of like Dwayne Wade, 2006, and what they're asking of Shaq.
Cooking. He was cooking, but he did it on both ends. And right now, to be a champion, you have to do champion things on both ends of the basketball court. And I understand you're tired, and he did admit it. He says it doesn't matter, but it ain't no time to be tired, bro.
He did have a little help with Shaq. Unfortunately, SGA does not have a Shaq, so Chet has to step up and be somewhat, and so does J-Dub. But SGA, this is their identity. He has to be that guy all year long. He has to show up and be the MVP.
That was the complexion in that Game 3 that we were talking about in 2013. It was a huge night from LeBron, from Dwayne Wade, and from Chris Bosh.
Yeah, you went back to 2013. I'll go back to last month. Let's just remember that a month ago, again, Denver, the Thunder were in this exact same spot. They lost Game 3 to go down 2-1. They had let Game 1 get away
and
from them.
she had the smile going into the tunnel.
SGA was smiling. And then he came back and delivered great games in Games 4 and 5. They flipped the series. They end up here. That's what they're going to need. He's been in this spot before. He has tasted this before, just not at this level.
This is not only the day that is Game 4, but it is also Friday.
Okay,
Friday the 13th to be exact. So let's have some fun. It's our hit game. Who said that? We're going to take a look at some quotes that caught our attention and ask our esteemed contestants, who said that? Sound good? Come play along with us. Here are the current standings here. Danny Green at the top, only 6 attempts.
It's like a final shooting line for him.
Yeah, exactly. Kendrick Perkins, 18 for 24. Wendy, you have a little bit of redemption here. UD, we got to work on this. So I'm going to go to you first. Ready? All right. Let's do it. Who said, quote, I actually enjoy my teammates regardless of what people say or think? Was it Kevin Durant, Jalen Brunson, or Draymond?
I don't think it's Jalen. It's Draymond or Kevin Durant. I'm going to say KD.
Was it Kevin Durant?
Oh, it was Brunson. I thought it was Draymond.
I would have never thought it was Draymond.
Regardless of what people
Oh, that's
they do have
that
the
dark comedy on the podcast.
Josh Hart.
That's the dark comedy podcast.
I didn't think that people think he doesn't enjoy his teammates.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that about him.
He always has the same face. People don't think he enjoys anything.
My stylist, who knows nothing about basketball, once texted me, "Oh, the man who always looks miserable is really going off for
I didn't catch that
tonight." All right, next one's for you, Brian. Who said this quote? TJ's a pest. He's like an annoying gnat flying around your head. Neesmith, Rick Carlisle, or
I don't think his teammates would have said that. I say Rick Carlisle said that, but
was it Rick Carlisle? That was quick and decisive. That was quick and decisive. Was it Rick Carlisle?
The suspense is killing me. Oh my God!
Don't listen to me.
I was going to pick Neesmith. I thought it was
Danny, you gonna save us?
Like an annoying gnat flying around your head.
I did not have Obi Toppin.
Me neither. These are some good ones today. These are some good ones today.
All right, Danny, you ready?
Here we go.
Feeling good? You feeling loose? All right.
Come on, producers, help me out here.
Who said this quote? I have plans. You got to wrap it up soon.
I know this one.
I'm trying to bake. I'm trying to do a little
Only because I'm a
tonight.
cookie guy, I know this answer.
Do you make cookies?
I do. Not as much anymore.
Okay.
I'm trying to cut back.
I'm a cookie guy, too.
I'm going to go with Benedict Mathurin.
Was it Benedict Mathurin making cookies?
Oh, that rich guy.
Okay.
I missed this.
You got to wrap it up soon. I'm trying to bake. You know, I'm trying to do a little police tonight. So.
I think he had the family in town. He was trying to bake some.
Man,
I'm glad he clarified it was.
He said beat Bron, too. Benedict just said
I don't know if it's true, but we'll see if
I got one more for everybody. I hope he shares because we all love a baked treat.
I know this one too.
Okay, let me get it out first, guys. Let me clear this up. I'm not losing no one-on-one game, bro. I got ridiculed for doing this at the highest level. Carmelo, Paul Pierce, Michael Beasley.
Melo.
Okay.
Definitely Melo.
Sounds like we got two who
Why
know
is
the answer.
Beasley? How did he make the cut?
Because he made the challenge. He challenged. He said I could beat Melo one-on-one, and Melo said I'm not losing
a one-on-one game, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Let me just clear this up right now.
I got ridiculed for doing it at the highest level.
Yeah, he said I played ISO for 15 years, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I got